Thumbnailing is a crucial step in creating a picture book. It's where you start to visualize how your story will come to life on the page. In today's video, I'll walk you through the key aspects of thumbnailing, from composition and storytelling to guiding your reader's eye through the page. Even if you are a writer and not an illustrator, thumbnailing your book can help you. It helps with pacing and understanding how at least half of the story is visual, told without words. Hi, I'm Charlotte Glaze. I'm an author, illustrator, and mom. I recently published my first picture book, and I'm here to share what I've learned along the way. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the new videos. My picture book, Storm Trucks, is available to back on Kickstarter right now. To get your copy, check out the link below, and thank you for your support. In my previous video, I talked about pagination, and that is the step right before thumbnailing. Once you have your manuscript broken into pages, you're ready to start thumbnailing. During the thumbnailing process, you can change your pagination if you find there are better places for your page turns. To start with, what are thumbnails? Thumbnails are small, quick sketches. I have some free templates you can download to print out and use as you are thumbnailing your book. The link is below. Start with your paginated text. And if you don't know what it means to paginate your story, click on the link to watch my video on pagination. The idea is to take your paginated text, then draw a number of ideas of how that text can be paired with pictures to communicate the story. These are just quick sketches, not detailed, and they should be rough. Don't take very long with each one. Here's an example of some of my thumbnails I created for my book, Storm Trucks. Each one is a little bit different, helping me think through the ideas communicated in the layout of each page. Let's talk about how pictures work within a story. Remember, in a picture book, the images are just as important as the words. In a well-crafted picture book, the pictures don't just illustrate the story, they tell part of the story. As you thumbnail, think about what's happening in the images, what emotions are being conveyed, what action is taking place. How do the pictures complement the words or even expand on them? Sometimes the pictures can show something the text doesn't mention, adding a layer of depth to the story. Your thumbnails should capture the essence of what each page will look like, so you can see how the pictures work in telling the story. If you want to learn more about how illustrations can convey emotion or draw your eye at certain places, an excellent book to read is Picture This: How Pictures Work by Molly Bang. It really is incredible how she breaks pictures down into the most basic shapes and colors and shows how even at the most basic level, images convey a story and emotion. Speaking of storytelling, thumbnailing is a key part of how you shape the narrative flow of your book. As you sketch out your thumbnails, you can think about the story arc. How does the action rise and fall? How does the reader's understanding of the story deepen with each page? Each thumbnail should represent a moment in your story that moves the plot forward or reveals something important about the characters. If you are finding that the image would stay the same for several pages because there is no change happening between the pages, this is an opportunity to edit your story. For example, in my early draft, I had these words for each page. And then these are the thumbnails that went with it. Axel loves trucks. And you see, I have different ideas of putting the setting behind him, and he's playing with his trucks. So here he is, he's playing with his trucks. Digging, pushing, lifting, building. And so on the next page, what do I have? I have another picture of him just playing with his trucks. Nothing has happened between these two pages. That's why the image is the same. And so eventually I ended up combining these pages together there was more text on one page because I don't need to tell that same story on more than one page. So I put those words together. I do have a picture in my book of him playing with his trucks, but now it's not 2 pages right back to back where the same thing is happening. Thumbnails help you visualize the pacing of your story, where the big moments are, where the quieter moments are, and how they all fit together. After thinking about how the pictures tell part of the story, let's talk about composition. When you are thumbnailing, composition is all about how you arrange the elements on each page. You want to guide the reader's eye through the page in such a way that makes the story clear and engaging, but consider the placement of your characters, the balance between text and image, and how you can use space to emphasize important moments. A strong composition can make your illustrations more impactful. In a picture book, as opposed to a solitary work of art, you need to remember that the composition needs to read the same direction as a book, left to right, top to bottom. Your thumbnails should guide the reader's eye across each spread, setting up the next page turn. This means placing elements on the page that encourage the reader to continue the motion of turning the page. I want to show you 2 images. In the first image, I had the storm on the left side of the page, so Axel could run away from the storm towards the house, running left to right. I showed this page to an art director and received the feedback that the storm should be on the right side of the page because it is later in the narrative. She recommended the storm move to the right side as a reveal at the end of this spread. So I took that feedback and changed the storm over to the right side of the page, foreshadowing the next page's action of Axel running inside to hide from the storm. You'll also notice I put the house on the right-hand page, so Axel would be running left to right, furthering the motion as he heads to the next page. To help you with your thumbnailing process, I've created a free printable that you can download and use to sketch out your ideas. This printable includes a basic template for empty spreads for you to fill in as you work on your thumbnails. It's a handy tool to visualize the pacing, composition, and flow of your story before you start working on more detailed sketches. Thumbnailing is an exciting stage of the picture book creation process. It's where you start to see your story take shape visually, and where you can experiment with composition, storytelling, and pacing. By focusing on the key elements we've talked about, composition, how pictures work, storytelling, thinking about left to right action, and page turns, you'll be well on your way to creating a compelling picture book. One last piece of advice, a thumbnail should be small and not very detailed. You should try to make a bunch of them for each page to see which idea really works best. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to stay updated on my future videos. My picture book, Storm Trucks, is available now on Kickstarter. If you would back it, you would get your copy and get bonus features such as matching stickers and bookmarks. Check out the link below. Thank you so much for your support. Have a great rest of your day.